unfortunately they've got these guys running around in white cars with blue and red bubbles on the roof and very loud sirens telling us to comply.
They've got that funny jewellery on their side too.
Yeah.
Just for what?
Actually, people told me to put together.
1623. Okay, so you can punch statute of monopolies 1623 into Google, and you'll come up with the original act.
Do you remember?
Private act means that an act that has not followed royal assent, has not followed the process laid out by the Constitution. Yeah, they're contracting with us. Prior 1986, the only obligation with respect to licensing and registration fell upon those who use the roads for commercial purposes.
Yeah.
So only taxi drivers, truck drivers, and those that relied on the road for their income were required to fulfil their obligations. There is a section in each of the assented to acts which allows that discretion. Okay. So an armed ship that is privateering. So an armed ship that is privately owned and manned, commissioned by a government to fight or harass enemy ships. So in effect, the King James Bible, which forms the basis of modern law, was the first draft of Admiralty. And that this distinction lies predominantly in the translation from the ancient Greek, ancient Hebrew, into English. So that's where all Admiralty law stems from.
I don't know, is that the statute?
Statute law is stemming from Admiralty law. It's also known as slave law. Yeah, statutory slaves. Register. So, to secure special protection for a piece of mail by prepayment of a fee. So, orientation, position or direction of something, they had to adjust the antenna's orientation in order to receive a clear signal. The valley has north-south orientation. So all these words you will, in time, in due course, understand why they have been highlighted. So standing, rank or status, especially with respect to social, economic or personal, position, reputation, etc. Subrogation, an equitable doctrine holding that when a third party pays a creditor or obliger, the third party succeeds to the creditor's rights against the debtor or obliger. Also a doctrine holding that when an insurance company pays an insurance claim of loss due to another's tort, the insurer succeeds to the insured's rights as the right to sue for damages against the tort feasor. Tort is the ability to sue the individual. So tort, law of tort, predominantly through the statute books, left those who misbehaved within the bureaucracy open to be sued as an individual without dragging the rest of that department down with them. The standing of a person before the law, standing of a person before the law. Okay, statute. Title, the means or right by which one owns or possesses property broadly. Okay, and that is the ownership of this through the state of your person. Surrender. right of tenancy in the copyhold estate to the lord of the manor for a specified purpose. Deed by which surrender is made, the giving up by bankrupt of his property to his creditors or their assignees. Also, his due appearance in the bankruptcy court for examination is formally required by the Bankruptcy Acts. Yeah, when you know how. Absolutely. But believe me, we're a long, long, long way from understanding that yet. You know, we really have to a lot of work to do. Okay, surrender is a contractual act that occurs only through consent of both parties. So, surrender differs from abandonment. Okay, important. Surrender differs from abandonment. Okay, so a surrender is in nature directly opposite to a release for, as the latter operates by the greater estate descending upon the less. The former is the falling of the less estate into a greater by deed. So reversion or estate in reversion. The residue of an estate left by operation of law in the grantor or his heirs, or in the heirs of the testator, commencing in possession of the determination of a particular estate granted or devised. So, this is the sort of stuff we're not allowed to fall asleep through while we're reading. Okay, so we'll go to the name. Now, what we've got here is we've got Crotylus, Plato. There's a very good explanation. It's a 58-page book. It's Socrates explaining the name. Okay, and it helps you, as it helped me a great deal, understanding the nature of the name. Okay, and this is part of the stepping stones that we're all taking here, very tentatively, with respect to understanding how this system created what they now use against us. So, and it will, this whole system that they have created, including the reserve system, is in our favour. It is in our favour. There is so much negative stuff out there, especially about the reserve system. But when you look at it through eyes that know this stuff, you can see the positive side of the reserve system. It's just that at the moment it is being abused. And it's being abused quite deliberately to wake us up to where that system is standing at the moment. So it goes into, it's a very good read, it's not too hard, but one of the other things that it does bring about is an understanding of the language. The language is crucial. The words I, my, are ownership. Words we have to break away from. So when you speak in the third person, that is effectively how you communicate.
Would it be admissible to
Sand Square. It's probably the original, and that's been around for a few million years. Regardless of what a particular book tells us. Which? Yes,
We've got to wind up for the break at this stage. I did clarify how we're going to, just remain seated for a second please. I did clarify how we're going to try and do the break or the cups of coffee and biscuits or whatever it is. We're going out through the double door, we're going in an anti-clockwise direction. So and it is going to cost you a gold coin donation for Ivan that pays cups of coffee and the cake and all that horrible stuff that he makes. How much of all that did people get? Has that been anything that's of any help to anybody? Don't use it now. You're not ready. Trust me, you're not ready. I think, just please bear with me for a second. I think it can be simplified, a lot of this. Please bear with me for a moment. If you remember last meeting, we talked about Justice Blackstone's commentaries in the book, where the principle was, largely in that, a corporation can't sue flesh and blood. Okay? Now we have that as a base understanding. So what they did in 1933, they made us all corporations. Does things fit a little better now? So when you go into court and they say, Calvin, yes, Your Honour, you're the corporation. That's essentially the bottom part, and I'm only at the very bottom of this. Daryl's miles more up the road than this than me. But that's the very basis that you need to start to think about now. So when the local policeman rings you up, is your name Calvin Granger? What's going to be your answer? No, Your Honour. But you can't leave it at that. I'm that person's personal representative. Or the person you've just referred to is the corporation of Calvin Granger. I'm that person's personal representative. That's the sort of stuff that you've got to start to get your head around, and I tell you, it's bloody hard. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you.
Where do we go in?